Okay, so you'll start by going to these 9 dots in the upper right, click on that, and then go into your drive. And here you'll be able to see the folders and files in your drive. What I'm going to do is create a new folder, which will say Stat20 Fall 19A. Create. And then what we can do is click on this folder. And here's where we can add spreadsheets or files or anything. Right now we're going to add a spreadsheet, new Google Sheet, and down here I'm going to set it up for the first 3 spreadsheet assignments. I usually do this so students don't struggle at first. So I'm going to click in and type SA1 and press enter. And then I will click on the plus sign, double click, SA2, enter, plus sign, double click, SA3, enter. And this is the spreadsheet I usually send everyone at the beginning. So let me go through how I would do that. I need to access the student emails. I usually do that on My EMU. In My EMU, you'll need to log in. There will be a button up here. I'm already logged in. Okay. And you'll click on Academics, Faculty, and then the class list for whichever class you're working with.
That's going to be that first.
So in order to add your students, you'll need to know their email addresses. And we can get that by clicking email. Even better than this, if you export to Excel, this way you don't end up emailing them directly. Okay, so you'll end up with a file like this. And this has everyone's email addresses right here. The other nice thing that this has is this is how people want to be referred. Instead of the Moodle usually has their full name,
right.
But these are how they prefer to be called. So for the first day of class, when I call roll,
I ask them what they want to be called.
You can do that, and I use these as a default instead of the names on Moodle. It doesn't matter too much.
I just want to be able to make contact with them. It'll take, I mean, like not like you know.
So let me take you through the steps of creating and sharing a spreadsheet for a single student, and then you can do the same thing for the others. So let's start here with Akiel Baker. Her email's right there, akiel.baker. I'm going to cut it to the clipboard with a Control-C. Then I'm going to go back to the drive. And this spreadsheet right here, I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to write her name, last name first, just because that'll make it.
You had to write her name.
Yes. Yeah, type in her name. I'm going to make sure I spell it right. Akiel. If you.
Her real name, not her.
I always use these email address names.
Okay.
This is Akiel. I start it with the last name first because then you can sort it easier, and for grading purposes, it'll save you time later.
Last name, comma, first name.
And then that'll show up if you click back on your drive, and we can. Often what I do is get all the spreadsheets ready first, and then I personalize them and share them.
So every spreadsheet for the whole year. there for the whole term?
We really need here is 30 spreadsheets, and then we can personalize each of them.
Am I better to make more than 30 in case somebody else comes in?
I'll make some extras here. If we right click, we can say make a copy. Okay, this view is, there we go. I clicked on this to say list view. Now I'm going to hold down the shift key, so I select them both, and then right click, make a copy again. So this is going to copy both of them. Now I have 4, and then I'm going to click there, hold down shift, click here, right click.
You're getting them all in there.
Exactly. And the original Ekiel Baker still has only her name.
Right.
The rest have copy of in front of them, and we'll change those to student names. This is where you see the power of exponential functions.
Yes. I've used this in my other things for all different types when I'm trying to make copies of lines.
And this will give us 32.
I want to have one for myself too, just so that
Okay.
I can make sure I'm doing this because I've got to spend so much time.
So let's make an extra 3 just in case you ever need them. Okay, so now we have all of these different sheets. Let's return to Ekiel, because right now it's only an R file, and we want to share that with her.
So what's an R file mean?
O-U-R file,
okay.
yeah.
That's right.
And if we right click, there's an option to share. And if we start typing her name, Ekiel, pretty soon it'll pop up, Ekiel Baker. We click on that. Automatically, we want to see this pencil. That means edit. That's the default. So you usually don't.
Different things with that.
She can change the spreadsheets also. And I'm just going to type a quick note like, here's your spreadsheet for stats this semester. Don't delete it. And I'm going to copy this message since I'm going to end up typing it.
Does she have access to this right away, or does it come over? Okay. Because these kids are already enrolled in the class.
Right. So it doesn't hurt to send it now. And I say don't delete it, but in reality, it doesn't matter if she does accidentally delete it. You can always go in here to this place, and all you do is you share it with her again, and she'll get another email with a link to it.
Okay.
I've got it on video, and let me go through one more here. So let's take the next name, Sarah Brown. And typically, I will either have 2 windows open while doing this, or I might have it half and half the screen so that it's much quicker for this process. So here I'm going to left click. I could double click and go in and change the name. An even quicker way is to just right click and hit rename. And then the next one is Sarah Brown. So I'm going to type Brown, comma Sarah. And I'm going to right click on it again, share, and I'm going to start typing Sarah.Brown. Here is a rare situation, but it's good to see this. There's a Sarah.Brown and a Sarah.E.Brown. So I go over there and notice that her email is Sarah.Brown. I just make sure I have that. And then I'm going to paste in that message that I wrote to Ekiel, and I'm going to send that. And so now that's 2 of them set up. And once you see the little people sign beside it, it's being shared with that person.
That's all on the video, so I don't.
Right. And so what just happened with Ekiel is she just received in her email inbox is something that said, Diane Baden has shared a spreadsheet with you that she can then click in and use anytime she wants. It's also, if she if any of these students would go to their Google Drive to the Shared with Me section, they would also see the spreadsheet that you shared with them. So now it's time to grade, and you would follow the same steps. You would go to the 9 dots, Google Drive. You would find the folder, which should be listed down here somewhere. Here it is, Stat 120. Double click, and then everyone's spreadsheets will come here. What I tend to do is click on the name, which puts them in alphabetical order so it'll match the gradebook. And then I would double click into Akiel's, and I would look at her stuff.
That's why I need to do it first to make sure.
And if I want to make any comments on her spreadsheet, I'll go up here to this Insert Comment button and say, nice job overall. Only problem is the formula in cell F4, whatever comment, and then just press comment like that. And then if I'm going to delete that comment. And then she can always go up to the comment history, and she can see every comment that you made on her spreadsheet.
And then she has the option, because I know you give them the option to update it, or to resubmit it with a correction.
Yeah, so when she makes her changes, she will email you. She should email you, and then you can go back in and look. All the changes will be there in the spreadsheet. Yes, and if you ever needed to see what it looked like previously before her corrections, you can go up here to All Changes Saved in Drive. This has all past versions of the spreadsheet of her spreadsheet, right? So, and we can go to any one of those and see what it looked like before. Or if you or a student totally messes something up and the backs doesn't work, you can always go here and restore a previous version. It's a really nice feature of Google Sheets. So on Moodle, when you log into my spring course, if you scroll down to the reading questions here, you can click on one, and then you can click on the assignment, and you might be able to just cut and paste. If that gives you any problem because of links, if you go to Edit, down arrow, HTML, this then gives everything. I do a Control A, Control C to cut all of this to the clipboard. And then you might have the two courses open at the same time here. But then I go into your current course, which is this one right here. And I make sure I turn the editing on. Scroll down. For some reason it...
I don't have all this. Okay, that's fine. That's good.
For some reason it copies this, but it doesn't copy this. So I do add a new question.
Okay.
Assignment, down arrow, HTML, and Control V. And this now has everything. So when I hit post to forum, the assignment is now there just like it was in the original course. The students will then hit reply when they see this, and you'll see all of the next time you click into this after they start replying, you'll see all of their responses.
Go back to the same place I did for the spreadsheet to get there?
No, these responses are totally separated from sheets. We would be seeing them right now if they've already responded.
Okay.